Hello. Today I'm going to be talking about my 5 favourite games of all time. As always, we're going to start from my 5th favourite and work my way up to my 1st favourite, just talking about the game, talking about why I like it so much, kind of when I played it, yap. Let's start. Coming in my number 5 spot, we have Cuphead. I've actually spoke about Cuphead on my channel before. I've made 2 videos on it. I made one video ranking all of the Cuphead bosses from easiest to hardest, and I also made a video ranking the run and gun levels, easiest to hardest, all in my opinion. And I genuinely am a huge fan of the game. I recently hit 300%, which is the most you can get on the game. That's where you beat every single boss and run and gun. Well, you beat every single boss on expert, but you also beat all the run and guns. I just love the game. I've also mentioned before in my video where I was talking about my 6 most anticipated games coming out, I was talking about how much I liked the kind of style of this old kind of cartoony feel to a game. I like the style, I like the sound effects, I like everything about that. I am hoping that another DLC comes out in the game. I don't think there will be. I think for a game that came out in 2017 and then they released the DLC in like 2021 or something like that, 2020, 2021, I don't think they're going to release another one, but fingers crossed, I can hope, you know. And I've also said before I'm planning on getting a Cuphead tattoo. That still stands. I'm still wanting to get a Cuphead, Mugman, and Miss Chalice tattoo, all next to each other. Let's move on. We can move into my number 4 spot, which there is a 3rd version of the game coming out, Little Nightmares 1. Yes, I preferred Little Nightmares 1 more than I did Little Nightmares 2. I've already explained this before. The main reason is just because I feel like Little Nightmares 1 is kind of the perfect length. I feel like Little Nightmares 2 drags itself on a little bit. However, I do think majority of the bosses from Little Nightmares 2 are better than the ones from the first game. But the overall feel and gameplay of the first one, I prefer more than the second one. For those who don't know, Little Nightmares is kind of like a horror kind of game. It's not really scary, but it's a scary game, if that makes sense. I actually remember buying and playing Little Nightmares games pretty much as soon as it came out. I had it on my wish list, and it was great. This is one of those games that I wish I could go back in time and play it for the first time again. It was just, I love this game. And I can't wait for the 3rd one, which I believe, for those who don't know, it's a multiplayer, so you can play it with someone, so that'll be fun as well. Anyway, now we can move on to my number 3 spot. We have a VR game. Might be unexpected, might not be a lot of people's favourites, but I really enjoyed it. It's called Accounting Plus. And most of you might have never even heard of this game, but it's hilarious. This game is one of the best VR games, if not the best VR game I've ever played. I've played through this game like 7 times. It's so funny. It's the cartoon style and the voices. It's very much like Rick and Morty or something like that, or Trover Saves the Universe, which is another VR game I've played. I really like that as well. But I didn't like it as much as I did Accounting Plus. Accounting Plus was kind of scary in some sort of way, just the design, especially this guy right here.
I'll tell you. Oh yeah, I know this. Just gonna do some counting today.
When I first played through the game, I was obviously younger, so I actually asked my dad to play that level for me, because I was too scared to be in VR looking at this big lanky guy making all these But yeah, I just loved everything about this game, the style, the voice acting, the way you kind of had to play the game, as in like the different types of levels. They were all different. You had one where there was this guy poking out the tree who just kept swearing at you, which was funny. That was kind of like the first level, the introduction to the game. And then there was also a level where you were in a vehicle and you had to shoot out the window and destroy like pirate ships or something crazy like that. And then there was another one where you killed a king in the dungeon who was just this really fat, creepy guy. And then you ended up in court for it. That was my favourite level from the game, actually, being in court. It's just hilarious. The judge. So yeah, Accounting Plus has definitely got to be up there. It's like the perfect game for me. Like, if I saw a game like this that was coming out on Steam next year, or coming out on VR next year, or whatever, I would put it on wishlist and I wouldn't stop thinking about it until it came out. It's just like, these are the games I love. These kind of creepy, comedy, cartoony, kind of awkward characters, uncomfortable kind of thing. You know what I'm talking about. You can just see this game. This is the type of game that I like. But now we can move on to my number 2 spot, more of a known game. This is kind of one of the games. We have Red Dead Redemption 2. This game is a masterpiece. Everything from the storyline to the characters to the graphics to the gameplay, Everything about this game is just incredible. Now, I'm going to be honest, I only finished the game last year. I think I bought it in like 2021 or something like that. I bought it like 4 or 5 years ago, and I played a little bit of it, and then I stopped playing it, and I just finished it last year. But man, this game is incredible. There was a lot of cutscenes in that in the game, so it made it feel like you were watching a movie, but also participating in it, which is great. It was fun. It was funny some parts. It was obviously a dramatic game. It's kind of like a kind of tension storyline game. And I have to say, Arthur Morgan is probably one of the best video game characters ever made ever. If you're a gamer, like if you like playing games and you haven't played Red Dead Redemption 2, you should go and play it, because it is one of the best games ever that I can think of. Obviously, it's in my top 5, but my god, this game is incredible. So if you haven't played it, go and play it. That's a demand. Go and play it right now. You have to play this game if you haven't. Anyway, now we can move on to my number 1 spot, my favorite game of all time, A Way Out. This is a game about 2 characters, Vincent and Leo, and basically both of them go to prison and they help each other break out of prison, and the entire game's kind of just running away from the cops and evading jail, that sort of thing. It might not sound so like, oh my god, this is incredible, but trust me, it is. Now, it is a 2-player game. You need 2 people to play it. I've only played through it maybe like 2 or 3 times. I've played it with my friend and my dad, but this game, I can't even think of the words to describe how much I like this game. This is the best game ever, in my opinion, obviously. One of the things that makes this game as good as it is the fact that you're not just constantly sticking to they need to get away from the cops and the whole story. You know, it wraps into Vincent's life and it wraps into Leo's life, and then obviously prison, and then there's other bits and pieces you can do. It's such a good game. And in case anyone's wondering, who is my go-to pick? I choose Leo. No apparent reason, it's just because the first time I played the game ever, I chose Leo, so I was like, okay, I am Leo. But it also puts you in these situations where you can make a decision where like the 2 characters will have some dialogue like, I think we should kill this guy, or I think we should leave him. And then you have to choose what one of the characters to go with. Like what one to do their plan, whether you kill the guy or let him go. It's great. Halfway through playing this game for the first time, I knew it was going to be at least in my top 3. And by the end of it, it was for sure in my number 1 spot. Since I've played this game, I haven't played a game that's better. I haven't. It's just the perfect game. If you're up late one night, you're on your PS5 or your Xbox or your PC even, whatever, and you're with a friend and you're thinking of a game to play, A Way Out it's the perfect game if you're in a situation like that. Perfect. 2 players, fun, adventurous, dramatic, a little bit of comedy in there. My favourite part of this game was the chase scene through the hospital. Just the way it kind of transitions from Leo to Vincent. There's one part where Vincent's running on the roof, I'm pretty sure, and like as he's running, the camera kind of zooms under his feet and it goes through a vent, and then it kind of transitions into then the person playing Leo, and Leo's running through the hospital. I would have put the clip up there so it's easier to understand than me trying to explain it here like a twit. What does that even mean? But yeah, this is my favourite game of all time. It's incredible. I would highly recommend going and playing it with the right friend. If you play it with someone you don't like, it's shit. It's not actually, but go and play it with someone you like. So there you go, that's my top 5 favourite games of all time. Once again, you have to remember these are all just my opinion. I'm not saying these are the best games of all time. I'm saying, for me personally, the games I like and the games I have obviously played, from what I can think of, these are the best 5. Anyway, that's it. I made a video not long ago talking about 5 games coming out that I was looking forward to, so I thought, why not talk about my 5 favourite games currently? So, that's it. Nothing else to it. That's all she wrote. Bye-bye.